How are we today, my friends, on a terrific Tuesday? Looking at things, what we like to look at. My last video I was discussing how I had a personal game plan for pound versus dollar and what I'm looking for in like the next year to happen. Okay, nobody knows what's going to happen, but just kind of what I'm projecting myself on my own plan. And I shared it, and I thought, okay, that's kind of my macro idea for pound dollar. But as with most people, they don't play those high weekly and monthly time frames. They're always zoomed in on the 1 minute, making that money on the 1 minute, day in, day out. But not on the 1 minute, not on the monthly, but a little bit middle ground here. We're looking at the 4H time frame, okay? And right now, pound dollar, it's holding at 126. So you had this nice pullback. Then you had some consolidation right there. Little bit of consolidation right in this area, okay? And then you had kind of a quick little dip down, and then you're going up. And this is kind of how I've seen it play out personally over and over again. Is when you have this kind of pull up here and then this little drawback, a lot of times it'll continue. Okay? And the reason price likes to do that maneuver sometimes, I'm not saying it's going to do that. I'm just saying don't be surprised if it does do that. Because it's sneaky. Okay? Everybody's short. They've been making all this money, and now you're consolidating in this area right here. And it wants to convince traders who are short on something to keep their position open. Price is trying to convince you that it's going to go lower. Okay? And what it likes to do is it likes to trick both parties, because it's really sneaky going up slow. And sometimes it'll be real sneaky going up slow. And before you know it, when it gets over to here, bam, it'll do a quick move and take all that money. And the reason that tricks both parties, we illustrated how it tricks people that are going short. How does it trick people that are trying to go long on something? So say, personally right now, you're looking at pound dollar. All the short-term long traders, they're trying to get a long scalp on pound dollar right now. So they've been buying here and here and here, okay? And right now, they're kind of waiting for a pullback. Well, you just had your pullback here today. If you were going to go long on a scalp, that was your entry today. So if you're not already in profit in a long on a small time frame, you'll just have to wait, because it's already starting to move up a little bit. But how it tricks you is it goes up so slowly, and it just creeps up. And before you know it, you're already up here. You've been wanting to go long on pound dollar for a scalp. Say you wanted to buy at 1.26 and you were going to sell at 1.30. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. But price tricks you because it slowly goes up, and it keeps you thinking, oh, well, I'm going to wait for a pullback. I'm going to wait for a pullback. I'm going to wait for a pullback. It gave you a pullback today. So if you weren't buying in on that pullback, what are you waiting for? That's as good as a pullback as you're going to get right there. This is a classic demand area, okay? Why? Because you had some consolidation down here. Price went up away from it, and then it came back and touched it. If you're a supply and demand trader, there it is. There's your demand. Did you take it? No. You're wanting to get something else. I don't know what you're looking for. When you're playing a setup, you have to play it the way it's meant to be played. Everybody has their own little nuances, but personally, when I'm looking for a demand setup, that's what I'm looking for today, right now. Now, this setup has nothing to do with my macro idea of pound dollar. But if I'm taking a scalp on pound dollar, there's nothing wrong with a buy right here. Nothing wrong with it, because you can keep a fairly tight stop down here at 125.8, 125.7, a little bit below, okay? If it goes below that, oh, you know, well, okay, your demand idea was wrong. But the fact that we tapped that, and now we're on this 4-hour candle that's moving away from it, don't be surprised for price to move away from it. There could be money up here. So for the short term, there's nothing wrong with taking a little profit here off pound dollar. Short term, yes, I'm a little bit bullish now on pound dollar. Longer term, for the next year, I'm bearish. Why? Because on the monthly, we're in this like rising wedge type pattern. This slash rising channel, however you want to view it. And zoomed out, to me, it's looking a little bearish. It's looking like it wants to take some money here. Looked like it want to take some money here. As I was saying in the previous video I was talking about. That's why I'm looking to really go long here, 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 even down here. I don't care. You don't think pound dollar can hit parity and be 1-for-1 versus the US dollar? It can do whatever it wants. It can go below parity. But short term, zoomed in on the next week, the next 2 weeks, there's nothing wrong with price going up and taking some of this money up above. So that's kind of just how you have to view things in different perspectives, you know. Sure, you might think price is going to pull back for the next 6 months overall. But that doesn't mean for the next 2 weeks it's not going to rip up against you. You don't think there's people shorting right here? There's people shorting right here. Why are they shorting this low bottom area of the hourly time frames? Because they're looking at the weekly, they're looking at the monthly, and they're thinking, oh, okay, well, we're kind of breaking the trend here, so we're going to drop down. They're not waiting for a little pullback. So that's just kind of my 2 bits, you know. Tomorrow's video, I'll talk a little bit about some different stocks I'm looking at. And it's nice that the election's over, because now we can kind of really get back into the swing of things. And we'll get a little bit more detail on how I'm viewing gold. And some interesting happenings been happening in silver too. And we love everybody, and I will talk to everybody on the next video. Peace.